Hey, what's going on? My name's Cooper, and this is my presentation on the Nazare Big Wave Challenge. So, what is it? This is a one-day surfing event where 24 people, which are each in teams of two, compete in some of the biggest waves in the world. Actually, it is the biggest wave in the world, and it's located in a fishing town called Nazare, which is in Praia do Norte, Portugal. Some of the origins of this event. This event came to fruition when in 2011, Garrett Nakamura rode a 24-meter high wave, which comes equivalent to about 78 feet, which is huge. Think about like a 4 or 5 storied building. That's a good way to put it into perspective, if not even bigger than that. But this wave, in particular, put the small fishing village of Nazare on the map. After this wave, big wave surfers flocked, and eventually there was a contest created here. The first event ever was held in 2016 to 2017. All right, some history about this event. The first few years this event occurred, it was strictly a paddling contest. This means that there was no use of jet skis allowed, just pure paddle power on huge 9 to 10 foot boards. The first event was won by an Australian named Jamie Mitchell. However, after running this event for a few years, the poundings just became worse. So the event organizers decided to change up the event to allow tow surfing. This involves one surfing pulling another on a jet ski. And this typically involves a surfer that has probably like a 5 or 6 foot board, something a lot shorter than just paddling in. The culture of this event. This event has a cool culture associated with it. It's really built around respecting the surrounding nature, teamwork, and having a lot of local pride. The locals of Nazare are proud to be able to support an event that was able to put their town on the map, as it greatly increased economic output and just made Portugal itself more popular. This event's also more focused on the courage of the surfer rather than how flashy they are. Rides in this event are often judged by just the size of the wave, commitment, and how clean it was. This event in particular has no real religious aspects to it, although it can feel spiritual to some because many describe the ocean as something larger than themselves. This is often how I feel when I surf. Very similarly to the religious impact of this event, there's really no direct connection to politics, but it can influence the world around it by bringing a large attention to Portugal and, in particular, the town of Nazaré. This is because tourism can boost the economy for the ocean and reinforce Portuguese identity as an ocean nation. This event also has a substantial economic impact on the town of Nazaré, as I mentioned before. It draws in thousands of spectators in person and even millions online. With this, there's increased spending at local restaurants, gift shops, hotels, and even traveling. In terms of racism and discrimination, this event dismantles race and racism by representing surfers of various different cultural backgrounds. This is to allow marginalized communities to shine. Also, having a risk that sees past race, aka gigantic waves, can make everybody help each other regardless of background or skin color. Finally, it is presented at a location that is not the typical surf destination. Instead of a tropical paradise, it takes place at a cold fishing village in Portugal. This means that it takes place in a highly diverse location and has a different culture than what is normally expected. And thanks. And here's references.